She said my skin was too fair, like I was some sissy. I said she had a terrible temper, like a tigress. We bickered for over a decade, until senior year, when a transfer student confessed to her. She glanced at me and said with a smile, "Sorry, but you're not my type." The people around us started egging her on. Then, "What is your type? Don't tell me it's someone like Chuan." Qinghan's ears turned red. She muttered, "Yes, I like pretty boys. So what?" Later, we went to college together, got married, had children, and spent a lifetime bickering. Before illness took her, she held my hand, smiling like a child. "Look at you. Sharp tongue, terrible cooking. In my next life, I'm finding someone gentle and handsome." I knew she was teasing me again, but my eyes still reddened. "Fine, you go find someone gentle and handsome. I'll find someone who doesn't argue with me." When I opened my eyes again, I was back on the day the transfer student confessed to her. "Qinghan, I like you. Could you give me a chance?" Qinghan looked up at me, then looked away with a faint smile. "Sure, let's give it a try." Wang's eyes widened in surprise. His voice trembled with excitement. "Really?" Qinghan nodded. "You're sweet-tempered and handsome. I like that." I clenched my fist hard. My fingertips trembled uneasily. Then people around us began to tease her. "Qinghan, so Wang is your type. We all thought you liked Chuan." Qinghan gave a soft laugh. Out of the corner of her eye, she seemed to glance at me. "Who likes him? His mouth is vicious. All he does is insult people all day. And just look at that face of his. He's prettier than most girls. He's so effeminate. He doesn't make anyone feel safe at all." The room erupted in laughter. I stood frozen, cold all over. At this moment, in my previous life, Qinghan had rejected Wang. In front of everyone, she said I was her type. My heart had pounded so hard it nearly leaped out of my throat. That night, I tossed and turned under the covers, unable to sleep until morning. The next day, I went downstairs with dark circles under my eyes. Qinghan was already waiting by the stairs. She looked me over and clicked her tongue. "Li Chuan, what did you do last night? Steal chickens?" I cursed at her. She laughed. "After we graduated high school, she confessed to me. Your mouth is vicious, and you're pretty too, but I kind of like you. Want to be my boyfriend?" My heart thundered, but I still played tough. "Who wants to be your boyfriend?" She covered her mouth and laughed, calling me stubborn. She said I'd always deny my feelings, ever since childhood. Later, we went to college together. Like every other couple, we walked in the rain and kissed beneath the sunset. We married after graduation and had a son and a daughter. We bickered constantly over the years. The longest time we gave each other the silent treatment was a month. Neither of us spoke to the other. But whenever someone thought we were about to split up, Qinghan would pout and snap back. "What do you know? This is just how my husband and I flirt." Then she turned to me with a playful grin and coaxed me. "Isn't that right, husband?" Even on her deathbed, she still argued with me, saying she'd find someone gentle and handsome in her next life. I thought she was just trying to rile me up again. I never thought she meant it. I pulled myself from my thoughts and looked at Qinghan. My lips twisted, as if anyone likes you. Even if you threw yourself at me, I'd still find you a pain. With that, I walked out of the classroom without looking back. In the restroom, I splashed cold water over my face again and again. Droplets ran down my chin, soaking my collar, cold against my collarbone. I looked at that 18-year-old face in the mirror. My eyes were impossibly red. So this wasn't a dream. Qinghan and I had both returned to the year we were 18. Only this time, she didn't plan to choose me. When I returned to the classroom, Wang was sitting in my seat, laughing with Qinghan. I said coldly, "Get up." Qinghan stood up. I told him to sit there. "He's my boyfriend now. Of course he should sit beside me." She pointed to Wang's original seat. "You sit there." When seats had first been assigned, she'd shamelessly insisted on sitting beside me. She said, "Your mouth is so vicious. I'm afraid you'll bully someone else. So, I guess I'll have to put up with you." I said nothing. I went straight to Wang's former seat. I picked up my backpack under everyone's stunned stares. Then I walked to the back row. What's he doing? Is Li Chuan going to sit with Ruyan? He wants to sit with Ruyan? Ruyan might not even agree. Qinghan frowned too, looking in my direction. I tapped the desk. The girl lying on the desk slowly lifted her eyelids and looked at me. Her gaze was distant and cold, with a trace of annoyance at being disturbed. "Can I sit here?" She paused, then closed her eyes again. I pulled out the chair and sat down. Whispers continued all around us until the bell rang and quiet returned. I took out my book, but my heart was still unsettled. My gaze drifted involuntarily toward Qinghan. She cradled her face in both hands, her eyes fixed on Wang's profile. The corners of her lips curved softly, her delight impossible to hide. Back when we were in class, she loved looking at me like that too. She'd say, "Li Chuan, you know when you're most lovable, when you're quietly listening in class." After we got together, she still loved looking at me that way. She'd say, "Li Chuan, you're so tempting. I really want to kiss you." Later, after we got married, she still loved looking at me that way. She'd say, "Husband, in this life, the next, and the one after that, I want to be with you. A pack of tissues appeared on my desk. Only when I looked down did I notice a small dark stain spreading across my textbook. Ruyan had already withdrawn her hand. She lounged against her chair without looking at me, her voice soft and eerie. Anyone who didn't know better would think I bullied you. Between both lives, I had lived nearly 100 years. Yet I cried in front of an 18-year-old girl. I was too embarrassed to feel sad anymore. I just wanted the ground to swallow me whole. After school that afternoon, Qinghan came over. Her tone was indifferent. Go home by yourself. I'm going on a date with Wang. After taking the steps, she turned back. Don't tell my parents I'm dating, okay? With that, she looped her arm through Wang's. She couldn't suppress the smile on her lips. I'll take you to get some amazing Odin later. That Odin place was Qinghan's favorite. She used to drag me there every day after school. But now, she had someone new. After being miserable all afternoon, I figured it out. Even if she'd once loved me deeply and stayed true to me, that belonged to our previous life. I should let go and move forward to. So I turned, looking at my icy deskmate. Want to get some snail rice noodles? I know a place with incredible snail rice noodles. Ruyan gave me a strange look. She picked up her backpack and walked past me, leaving behind one remark. Are we even close? After that merciless rejection, I left school alone. It still felt unfamiliar. Ever since kindergarten, Qinghan and I had always gone home together. In college, I walked her back to her dorm every day. Then, after we got married, she'd wait outside my company building every day. Then we'd go home together. She had loved me so much. How could she change so suddenly? The more I thought about it, the angrier I got. I kicked a pebble away. You heartless bitch. The pebble flew true, hitting the back of someone's head right ahead of me. That person stopped abruptly, then slowly turned around. My heart sank. Ruyan's eyes were as cold as ice, locked directly on me. Who did you call that? My mouth opened as my mind raced. Then I solemnly pointed to a stray dog nearby. I was calling it that. The large yellow dog lay by the wall, giving me an innocent look, and wagged its tail. A smile curled Ruyan's lips, but it never reached her eyes. You throw pebbles with your hand, not your foot. She walked back, stopping in front of me. She looked up at me. Chuan, you weren't calling me that, were you? I hurriedly waved my hands. No, I was calling Qinghan that. Really? She fell silent for a moment, her gaze turned unreadable. What did you call her? I called her a heartless bitch. Ruyan raised a brow. So, Qinghan dumped you. You called her a heartless bitch, and the pebble hit me in the head. I was instantly speechless. From my perspective, I really had been dumped. The moment I realized I'd been reborn, I was so happy I could have jumped for joy. Not only could I see Qinghan again, I could love her for another lifetime. But who could have imagined that she was happily having Odin with her gentle, handsome young boyfriend right now? I took a deep breath. What do you mean? She dumped me. I was never even with her. Besides, she's a heartless, ungrateful bitch who forgot her promises, betrayed me, and betrayed our friendship. Why would I ever like her? Ruyan suddenly gave a soft laugh, then apologized to me. I obediently lowered my head. I'm sorry. I really didn't mean to. Should we go to the nurse's office? No need. She turned and walked away. As if possessed, I followed her. How about I buy you dinner to make it up to you? That snail rice noodle place really is great. She stopped but did not turn around. She only gave me the cold words. Lead the way. After the snail rice noodles, I took Ruyan for fried chicken and grilled skewers too. The gloom Qinghan had caused earlier finally lifted a little. As I entered the neighborhood, I immediately saw Qinghan sitting on a stone bench by the entrance. A takeout container of Odin sat beside her. When she saw me return, she stood up with a sour expression. Chuan, don't you know the way home? Why did you take so long? I rolled my eyes and walked around her. As I passed her, I said casually, I went to eat with Ruyan. It took a little longer. Someone grabbed my backpack. Qinghan's furious voice thundered from behind me. What did you say? You went to eat with Ruyan? She yanked me around. Her face was full of disbelief. You barely know her. Why would you eat with her? I shook off her hand, my tone cold. None of your business. Qinghan laughed in anger. Chuan, you've got some nerve now. What haven't I taken care of for you since we were kids? In kindergarten, you couldn't even wipe your own butt, so I did it for you. When you lost a fight in first grade, I beat them up for you. She rattled off one agitated complaint after another. Watching her so flustered and furious, I suddenly found it a little funny. Who I eat with is my choice. We're just neighbors. Stop being so possessive. Instead of wasting time here, why don't you go chat with that gentle, handsome boyfriend of yours on the phone? Qinghan gritted her teeth. Keep talking tough. Chuan, I only agreed to date Wang because because he's sweet-tempered and handsome. I cut her off. I went out to eat with Ruyan because she's beautiful and makes me look good. She also has a great figure, unlike your little girl body. Qinghan's face turned black as ink. I ignored her and walked away. Yet my heart still felt weighed down by a boulder. I still couldn't completely let it go. On the third morning, as soon as I entered the classroom, I saw a cup of Hot soy milk and a sandwich on my desk. They were exactly the sweetness and flavor I liked. Ding Wang stood beside my desk, smiling gently. He sounded slightly embarrassed. Chuan, Qinghan bought too much breakfast. This one's for you. Before I could speak, Qinghan's voice drifted over from behind. Wang, why waste your breath on him? Just leave it there. He can eat it or not. She walked over, inserted the straw into another soy milk, and held it to Ding Wang's lips, her eyes indulgent. Drink this one. It has sugar in it. Sweet. Just like you. Ding Wang took it, blushing. The students around us began teasing them. Wow. Qinghan, how did I never realize you were this smooth? Qinghan smugly curled her lips. Her gaze seemed to brush over me. That depends on who it is. I grabbed the soy milk and sandwich and threw them in the trash. Qinghan's smile froze at once. At lunch, I had just sat down with my tray. When the people took the seats across from me, Qinghan picked up the ribs from her tray and placed them in Ding Wang's bowl, one by one. Her voice was dripping with tenderness. You're too thin. Eat more. Ding Wang gave an embarrassed smile. It's too much. I can't finish it. Qinghan's eyes curved as she spoke softly. I'll eat whatever you can. It's not like I haven't eaten your leftovers before. At that, people at several nearby tables turned to look. Qinghan, you two are moving fast. My grip tightened around my chopsticks until my knuckles turned white. In my past life, Qinghan had liked eating my leftovers too. I was a picky eater, and she'd always say I was wasting food. She complained endlessly, but would take my bowl and clean it out herself. I lowered my head and forced bite after bite into my mouth, desperately swallowing the bitterness in my throat. Qinghan suddenly looked up. She looked at me and spoke with mocking sarcasm. Chuan, why are you eating alone? Where's that pretty, great-figured deskmate of yours? Why isn't she keeping you company? None of your damn business. If your mouth is so idle, chew the bones in your bowl. I didn't even look up. Your tongue is still as sharp as ever. She smiled and turned to Ding Wang. See, I told you he has a sharp tongue. He's nowhere near as gentle as you. As soon as she finished speaking, Ruyan walked over with her tray and sat across from me. Quiet whispers rose around us. Since when is Chuan so close to Ruyan? I don't know. Weren't they only deskmates for one day? Ruyan acted as though they didn't exist. She picked up some greens and put them in her mouth, chewing slowly. Qinghan's expression changed. She slapped her chopsticks onto her tray. I'm not eating. I've lost my appetite. She picked up her tray and stormed off. Ding Wang hurried after her. Everyone in the cafeteria turned to look my way. Without changing expression, I finished my meal. Only then did I say thank you to Ruyan. She wiped her mouth. Her tone remained cool. You owe me a meal. Didn't I just treat you yesterday? Yesterday's meal was for yesterday. You still owe me one. How could she keep such exact accounts? But thinking it over, she had just helped me save face. Fine. I'll treat you another day. She stood and left me with one sentence. Don't go back on your word. After school that afternoon, I ran into Qinghan at the school gate. She stood alone against the wall, holding a bottle of water. When she saw me, she straightened up. Chuan. I didn't stop walking. She jogged after me and blocked my path. What do you want? She looked up at me, her lips moving hesitantly. At last, she forced out. Why aren't you taking the bus today? I'm walking home for exercise. Then I'll walk with you. No need. Go see your little boyfriend home instead. She choked on her words and looked away. He had something to do today, so he left early. I said nothing more and kept walking. She followed behind me. She couldn't stay quiet for 3 seconds before starting to nag. When did you get so close to Ruyan? You've only been deskmates for 2 days, yet you've already had 2 meals with her. Chuan, don't tell me you like her. Her tone grew anxious. Her type is hard to get along with. She wears that cold face all day, like everyone owes her millions. I stopped short. She nearly ran into me. Qinghan, what exactly are you trying to say? She stood in the fading light, looking uncomfortable. After a long moment, she finally murmured, stay away from her. Her eyes were full of hurt, her face pitifully aggrieved. I had spent a lifetime by her side. I knew that expression better than anyone. This was how she looked when she was jealous. She clearly cared about me, yet she had still chosen someone else. I spoke coldly. What right do you have to say that? Mind yourself and stay out of my business. Qinghan's face went dark. I turned and kept walking. Behind me, I heard her shout furiously. Fine. Don't regret this. When I reached my front door, my phone vibrated. It was a message from Ruyan. It read, breakfast tomorrow. I stared at the screen for 2 seconds, then sent a question mark. Her reply came quickly. That meal you owe me. Bring breakfast tomorrow. She really was committed to making every meal count. I replied, got it, and slipped my phone into my pocket. As I entered, Mom poked her head out of the kitchen. Chuan, Qinghan's mother invited us to dinner at their place tomorrow. I changed into my slippers without looking up. I'm not going. What is it? Did you fight again? We didn't fight. I headed for my room, then stopped halfway. Looking back, I said, I just don't want to see her. Mom froze for a moment, then smiled. There he goes saying things in anger again. When have you ever gone a day without seeing each other? You don't want to see her? I went into my room and shut the door. I leaned helplessly against it. Yeah. Since childhood, when had a day gone by without seeing her? But now, every time I saw her, it hurt. Whenever I closed my eyes, all I could see was Qinghan from my past life. My phone vibrated again. I took it out. It was Ruyan again. Add an egg. After a moment, I realized she meant breakfast. This girl, honestly. I smiled helplessly. I shook my head, forcing myself to clear it. The next morning, I entered the classroom carrying to breakfast. One for me, and one for Ruyan. The moment I set the bag on Ruyan's desk, I looked up and met Qinghan's gaze. She leaned back in her chair, staring at me intently. There were 3 breakfasts on her desk. Wang sat beside her. Looking at the extra breakfast, he asked, Qinghan, you bought an extra breakfast again? Is this one for Chuan? Qinghan looked away, her voice cold. It's for a dog. As usual, Ruyan entered the classroom right on time. She walked to her seat, then looked down at the breakfast on her desk. She said nothing. She sat down, unwrapped the sandwich, and took a bite. After chewing twice, she said without expression, It's cold. I raised a brow. Then I'll warm it up for you. She didn't answer, lowering her head to take another bite. The corner of her mouth curled upward. After lunch, I wasn't sleepy. I went up to the school building's roof. I had barely pushed open the door and taken the steps when I heard rustling sounds. Qinghan, what if someone sees us? It's fine. I'm the only one who likes coming here. No one will see us. I froze. My mind told me to leave, but my feet disobeyed and carried me to steps closer. In the shadows by the wall, Qinghan had Wang pinned against the wall. Standing on tiptoe, she held his face in both hands, her lips pressed to the corner of his. Wang held her waist with both hands, his eyes tightly shut. She kissed him lightly, slowly pressing and rubbing her lips against his. Then she pulled back slightly to watch his expression, and kissed him again. I stood by the railing 3 meters away. The wind made the hem of my school uniform flap loudly. In that instant, I couldn't name what I felt. It was as if someone had seized my heart and crushed it over and over. Pain spread through my entire body, then slowly faded into calm. Nothing could stir a ripple in me again. The days passed one by one. Only 1 week remained before the college entrance exam. The atmosphere around studying grew tense. Everyone buried themselves in review, afraid of missing even 1 point of knowledge. Only Qinghan and Wang were still busy flaunting their relationship. After that day on the roof, Qinghan gradually paid less attention to me. Instead, she and Wang grew increasingly inseparable. They secretly held hands in class, and during breaks, she clung to Wang and acted cute. Every weekend, Qinghan and he would go watch sunsets, sunrises, and stars. Wang's social feed was filled with photos of him and Qinghan together, holding hands in the sunset, embracing at sunrise, kissing beneath the stars. They looked blissfully happy. As for me, when I saw those photos, my heart no longer stirred. I rarely even thought of Qinghan from my past life anymore. When the dismissal bell rang on the day before the college entrance exam, it was still early. I packed my bag, stacking the test papers on my desk one by one, then slipping them into a folder. Students around me left in small groups. Some discussed their exam room assignments for tomorrow. Others encouraged each other. For once, Ruyan hadn't left early. She leaned back in her chair, her eyes following me as I packed. Then she spoke hurriedly. Don't bring me breakfast tomorrow. Why not? The cafeteria provides free breakfast during the exam. Her reason left me speechless. Ruyan and I had remained neither close nor distant these days. It was just that whenever I bought breakfast each morning, I would pick up a portion for her too. Over time, it became a habit. She lowered her eyes and put her books into her backpack, then zipped it up. She moved slowly, as if lost in thought. After a moment, she stood and shouldered her backpack. As she passed me, she paused. Good luck tomorrow. When I looked up, she had already left the classroom. I suddenly remembered Ruyan from my past life. From her first year of high school, Ruyan had always been alone. She didn't speak to anyone, and she didn't like anyone speaking to her. For all 3 years of high school, she kept to herself. I had never seen her smile at anyone. Her expression was just as Qinghan had described it, as if the entire world owed her money. In my past life, I was focused entirely on fighting with Qinghan. I barely had any contact with Ruyan. After we graduated from high school, we had no contact at all. Later, I heard from other classmates that she had been discovered by a talent scout the year she graduated. She studied while training, and the next time I saw her was on the big screen. With her debut film, she gained a huge following and rose ever higher. She became the youngest best actress in history. She even founded her own private charitable foundation. Even the remotest mountain regions across the country had schools she had donated. Her name went down in history. She became a giant of her generation's film industry. Yet she never married, and there was never even a romantic rumor about her. I shouldered my backpack and left the classroom. At the stairs, I saw her. Qinghan had her head lowered, scuffing her feet back and forth. At the sound of my steps, she looked up. Our eyes met. A complicated expression crossed her face. Since the last time we had been alone together, nearly 2 months had passed. I calmly passed her and said softly, "What? Not walking with your boyfriend?" She followed me downstairs, keeping half a step behind me, like she used to. I told him to leave first. Then came a long silence. We walked out through the school gates together. Along the road we had walked countless times. She followed behind me at an unhurried pace. "The college entrance exam is tomorrow," she suddenly spoke. "How is your review going?" "Not bad." Another silence followed. Chuan. She suddenly reached out and grabbed my backpack. "We agreed before that we'd apply to a university together. Do you remember?" I stopped but didn't turn around. "I remember." She let go of my backpack, then stepped around in front of me. She spoke with uncertainty. "That still stands, right?" I lowered my eyes to meet hers. Back when someone asked Qinghan and me which university we planned to apply to, Qinghan had declared with certainty, a university. When someone else asked which university I planned to apply to, Qinghan answered without hesitation, "Of course he's applying to a university too." As usual, I argued back. "Who says I'm applying to a university? I don't want to be at the same school as you again." After school, she pestered me the whole way home. Chuan, are you really not going to apply to the same university as me?" Chuan, we grew up together. Can you really bear to let me go to a university all alone?" Chuan, please, apply to a university. After her relentless pleading, I reluctantly said, "Since you begged me, I'll apply to a university." I still remembered it now. Her eyes had shone then. After the college entrance exam and graduation, we both applied to a university without needing to discuss it. "Aren't you going to the same university as Wang?" Qinghan gave a soft laugh. "His grades aren't good enough for a university." That was true. In my past life, Wang had only gotten into an ordinary university. This time around, he was busy dating her. So, how could he focus on studying? I said nothing. Qinghan spoke again. "Besides, I'm planning to break up with him after the college entrance exam." I was a little surprised. "Don't you like gentle guys with good tempers best? Why break up with him?" Qinghan frowned. "He's so clingy. He texts me all day long. Do you know, last time, I went to the supermarket with my mom, and he called me 8 times. 8 times. She held up her right hand to show 8. I just hadn't looked at my phone. When I got back, he called and asked me if I didn't like him anymore. She took a deep breath. She kicked a pebble by the roadside. "It's exhausting." We kept walking. I used to think gentle guys were wonderful. They wouldn't argue with me. They wouldn't mock me at every turn. They wouldn't call the gifts I carefully picked ugly. She suddenly began rambling. Wang is like that. He speaks gently. He's even gentler when he looks at me. Whatever I say, he says it's good. Whatever I give him, he likes it. But later, I realized he says everything is good. So I never know what he really wants. He likes everything. So I never know what he actually likes. When we reached my building, she suddenly stopped. She looked at me. Until one day, I suddenly realized what I miss was having someone argue with me. I stopped and looked at her too. I miss having someone snap back when I run my mouth. I miss someone bringing me down when I'm showing off. I miss someone calling the gifts I buy hideous. As she spoke, the corner of her mouth curled up unconsciously. Then she quickly pressed her lips flat. "I've been with Wang for 2 months, and we haven't argued once. He just keeps apologizing, asking if there's something he hasn't done right. If I tell him we're breaking up, he'll definitely ask what he did wrong again. So I'll bring it up after the entrance exam." I was silent for a long time. The girl before me still looked the same, but she was no longer the girl I remembered. Qinghan. "Yeah." I looked toward the entrance. "I'm going upstairs." She went blank for a moment. Then she smiled. "Time passed so fast. It feels like a dream." Then she looked at me and asked seriously, "You'll apply to a university, right?" My phone vibrated in my pocket. Ruyan had sent a message. "Which university are you applying to?" I looked up at Qinghan. I gave a quiet hum of agreement. Then I turned and went upstairs. I quickly typed my reply. "B University." The bell rang at the end of the final college entrance exam. I capped my pen and walked out of the exam room. Some people cheered while others cried. I stood amid the crowd, dazed that I had taken the college entrance exam twice. How did it go? I came back to myself. At some point, Ruyan had appeared beside me. I smiled. "I did well. What about you?" Her voice was still cool. "I was just going through the motions. I was already guaranteed admission." I smiled. "Ruyan, you're amazing." The corner of Ruyan's mouth lifted slightly. In my past life, she had guaranteed admission to the nation's top C university. This time round, I assumed the outcome would remain unchanged. That evening, our class gathered for dinner, free of the exam's burden. Everyone completely relaxed. Only Qinghan kept looking in my direction. More precisely, she wasn't looking at me. She was looking at Ruyan beside me. Ruyan hadn't attended the class gathering in my past life. When I came back from the restroom, Qinghan was waiting at the door, her brows slightly furrowed. "Did you invite Ruyan?" I answered quietly. She came on her own. At that, Qinghan's brow relaxed. I knew you weren't that close with her. After dinner, they planned to go karaoke. Having lived two lives, I had long lost interest in that. Ruyan was even less interested, so the two of us left the restaurant alone. We had just reached the roadside when an apologetic voice came from across the street. Qinghan, did I do something wrong? I can change. Can you please not break up with me? Qinghan's weary voice followed. Ding Wang. It isn't about whether you can change. I've never liked you. You never liked me. Disbelief filled Ding Wang's voice. Then why did you accept my confession? Why did you watch stars and sunsets with me and wait for sunrises? Qinghan fell silent for a moment. Because I wanted to try something different. Try something different. Ding Wang laughed bitterly. So Chuan is who you've loved all along, isn't he? I had no desire to listen any longer. I walked away. Ruyan beside me didn't ask anything either. I only heard a voice behind us, fading in and out. Yes. He's the one I've loved all along. Qinghan and Ding Wang's breakup became known to the entire class. Qinghan didn't respond. After that day, Ding Wang left every group chat. He also deleted Qinghan completely. He wiped his social media clean too. It was as if he had vanished from the world. The day the exam results came out, Qinghan ran to my house. Chuan, what score did you get? I looked up at her. 678. Qinghan froze for a second. I knew what puzzled her. In my past life, I had only scored 645. Qinghan grinned. She gently patted my head. Nice one, Chuan. Just what I'd expect from someone I taught. You scored 10 points higher than me. You're definitely getting into a university. I said nothing. On the day we submitted our applications, Qinghan insisted on filling out my application with me. She said she had to see me apply to a university with her own eyes. Only then would she feel at ease. So I applied to a university right in front of her. She leaned in and checked every word. She made sure I had entered every major code correctly. Then she let out a long breath. She leaned back onto the sofa, her voice brimming with undisguised delight. We'll be together again. I shut down the computer and urged her. All right, you can go home without worrying now. She stood up with a grin. Before leaving, she swiped a bottle of yogurt from my fridge. She said it was payment for helping with my application. The moment the door closed, I heard her humming in the hallway. She was terribly off-key. Only much later did I reopen the application system and change a university to be university. That night, I packed my bags and went to the countryside. I told my mom I wanted to spend time with Grandma, and I truly did miss Grandma. Grandma was very happy to see me. That day, she killed an old hen and stewed it into soup. She said I had just finished my exams and needed nourishing food. Qinghan called me several times, but I didn't answer. Then she sent several messages. She asked where I was. I said I was at Grandma's, where the signal was poor. She sent 5 stickers in a row, from angry to hurt. Then finally, fine. Come back soon. I need to tell you something. I didn't reply. I knew what she wanted to say. The day after we submitted our applications in my past life, she confessed to me. The day I received my acceptance letter, Qinghan immediately video called me. Chuan, did you get your acceptance letter? I was crouching in the chicken coop, sending Ruyan a photo I had just taken of a hen laying an egg. Seriously, you've never seen a hen lay an egg? Ruyan replied quickly. No. Do freshly laid eggs taste good? Don't eggs all taste like eggs? Chuan, what are you doing? Say something. Qinghan's annoyed voice came through the phone. Without changing expression, I said, I'm helping my grandma pick green beans. I'm asking if you got your acceptance letter. I got it. Show me. Later. I can't get away right now. She was silent for a moment. When she spoke, she sounded upset. Chuan, I feel like you've changed. Ruyan sent another message. I've never had one. Bring me some to try next time. I looked down at those words. The corner of my mouth curved uncontrollably. Then I said, have I? I can't talk now. My grandma's calling me. I hung up immediately. I got up and replied to Ruyan. Okay, I'll bring you some next time. In the blink of an eye, school started. I didn't go home. I went straight to school from Grandma's house. Qinghan sent me countless messages. Chuan, are you avoiding me on purpose? You haven't come home all summer. You're something else. I'll settle this with you at school. I'll be waiting at exit B of the airport. I didn't reply. Not until I got off the plane. Did I reply? I didn't apply to a university. A moment later, my phone rang. I answered it. What do you mean? What do you mean? You didn't apply to a university. Her voice trembled. I pulled my suitcase, speaking softly. Exactly what I said. I applied to a university in front of you. Then I changed it after you left. Silence fell on the other end. After a long while, she asked, why? Didn't you promise me? You said we'd apply to a university together. Why? Chuan, tell me why. I stopped walking. Qinghan, you weren't the only one who was reborn. I was too. Another silence followed. When? The day you accepted Ding Wang's confession. Then why didn't you tell me? Tell you what? Tell you that I remembered our past life too. Then rush over and ask you why you accepted Ding Wang. Why you betrayed me. A faint sob came through the phone. If you told me, I wouldn't have. Wouldn't have what? I wouldn't have accepted Ding Wang. Qinghan, don't dwell on it. Our fate together ended in our past life. From now on, let's each live well. With that, I hung up. Then I let out a long breath. The weight that had pressed on my chest for 2 months, like a massive stone, was finally gone. Just as I was about to keep walking, a voice came from behind me. Did you bring my eggs? I froze and turned around. Ruyan stood 3 steps away. One hand rested on her suitcase, her expression as calm as ever. My eyes widened. Weren't you supposed to go to see university? Why are you here? She lowered her gaze. I changed it. I opened my mouth. I wanted to ask if she knew what guaranteed admission to see university meant. Why did you change it? But all I said was, you're crazy. Her lips twitched. She tried to suppress a smile. Then she held out her hand. Where are my eggs? I smiled helplessly. I'll definitely bring them next time. Ruyan applied to be university with me. The news quickly reached Qinghan. The next day, Qinghan skipped class and flew to be university. Ruyan and I ran into her in the cafeteria. She rushed up and slapped Ruyan. You talked Chuan into applying to be university. Ruyan didn't hit back. She raised a hand and wiped the corner of her mouth. Half her face welled immediately. Qinghan stepped forward again, but several nearby guys stopped her. She struggled as she screamed. Did you make him change his application? Did you make him apply to be university? Ruyan, what exactly did you say to him? I pulled Qinghan behind me. I roared at Qinghan. Are you insane? Applying to be university was my choice. I just don't want to see you again. I don't want anything to do with you anymore. With that, I took Ruyan's hand and led her out of the cafeteria. Qinghan knelt outside my dorm building all day, begging for my forgiveness. I called the police. After that, Qinghan tried to see me many times. I never met with her. Later, my mom told me she wasn't doing well and had taken leave from school to return home. Then one day, I watched a terrible movie. While we ate, I couldn't stop complaining about it to Ruyan. As I went on, I looked at Ruyan and said, Ruyan, you should become an actress someday. She glanced at me. Why? I thought for a moment. I dreamed you won Best Actress. You made countless beloved films, and I became your biggest fan. In my past life, I was one of the countless fans Ruyan gained with her debut. So, when Ding Wang took my seat that day, I went straight to the back row without hesitation. I tapped on Ruyan's desk. Ruyan looked at me in silence for a long time before speaking. Do you know why I became an actress? I froze, hearing only my pounding heartbeat. She looked into my eyes. Those eyes, which critics described as capable of holding the loneliness of the entire universe on screen, reflected only me at that moment, because only when I appeared on the big screen could you see me. The end